Hey YouTube, another commentary here by OMGABananaLol. This time I'll be showing you Morgana, the Fallen Angel. You could play her AP carry or support. I like to play her support because simply she's a very good support to have on a team. She has good CC, she has good shield, she has good AoE damage, good AoE stuns. She's just pretty much what a support needs, right? Except her heal, but her shield pretty much compensates for that. So basically, if you want to play her AP carry, there's nothing against it, but I'm just going to show you how to build her support. So the only difference between the two will be the ability sequence and the items, the way you will build her. So let's get into some masteries. So since I'll be building her support, I will be using the summoner spells Teleport and Flash. So I'm going to get the 15 spell penetration on my 9, nothing, and 21 for the utility. So I get 15% cooldown on my summoner spells, the Flash cooldown, and for the Teleport cooldown. And I'm going to get enhanced experience and pretty much all that jazz. For her runes, I like to go Mage Penetration Red, Mana per 5 Yellow, because I like to spend my abilities and save people's lives and blah blah blah, bind people in place. I like to harass. Flat AP for Quintessences and AP per level for blues. You could go cooldown reduction for blues, flat health for Quintessences. Really, it's up to you, doesn't really matter. Runes are pretty much just for early game purposes. So let's get into Morgana's ability. So first of all, her passive is called Soul Siphon. Morgana has Spell Vamp, healing herself whenever she deals damage with her spells, which is a very solid passive. It's good for early game purposes when you're trying to heal yourself in the lane. Just put your Tormented Soil on the ground, which is your W, and you're going to heal yourself off minions. Also, you can just get a Spell Vamp item, and basically you're going to stack with your passive, which is very good late game. Her Q is called Dark Binding. That's a long path you see that I just flew at Shen, and pretty much snares the opponent for 3 seconds at level 5, which is very solid. Her W is called Tormented Soil. It's the kind of gas you see on the ground that does AoE damage. It's great for farming early game and great for when you snare people or when you stun people to do damage over time. Her E is called Black Shield. That is the shield that you see. Pretty much it makes you immune to any magical damage. If it's an AP ratio, it will not apply. But the cool thing about it is that if it's big enough to block the damage from a CC, it's going to cancel the CC, except for Shen's taunt, Rammus's taunt, any CC that ratios with AD or has no ratio at all. Her ultimate is called Soul Shackles. So basically, after 2 seconds of casting it and staying in range with the opponent, you will stun the opponent. But initially, hitting it will deal damage, and after 2 seconds, will deal another flat amount of damage. So here's the ability sequence I like to use with Morgana. I like to start with Tormented Soil to get that good farming at the beginning, then get a Dark Binding to get people to pretty much gank other people, harass other people, and do all that stuff. And then I like to level up my Tormented Soil to level 5 first, so I can do lots of harassing, lots of farming for late game purposes, right? And then I like to level up my Black Shield to max. Why? Because I like to play her as a support, like I said earlier. I don't find leveling up your binding to max fast really benefits your team, since I'll be playing as a support. And if you have enough damage output on your team, play her support. If you don't have enough damage output on your team, just play her AP carry and level up that Dark Binding instead of your Spell Shield. But in this case, I didn't really need the damage output, therefore I just build up my shield after Tormented Soil. So the famous item build. So most people will like to watch my videos because of my item builds. They find them pretty good. So with Morgana, I have a very solid build. You're going to want to rush Rod of Ages. Why? Because you're going to want to get that max passive within the 20 minutes, right, of Rod of Ages. What it does, gives you mana, health, and ability power after 20 minutes. Pretty much it gives you like the cap, right? So you're going to want to rush that, and then perhaps maybe get boots in the making of it, because you're kind of slow without boots and you really need those boots when you're going to use your ulti, right? And then you're going to want to get Rabadon's Death Cap to get a little more damage output, or you could get Zhonya's Hourglass if your team's kind of struggling and you need more defensive purposes. The Zhonya's Hourglass will be good to activate when you're having a hard time surviving, and if you're getting focused. After, you want to get a Will of the Ancients. It's a very good support item that's going to give your teammates Spell Vamp and yourself Spell Vamp and yourself ability power and your teammates ability power, which is really good. After, you're going to want to get Rylai's Crystal Scepter or the Abyssal Scepter. Why? Because if you're doing really good, you're going to go for, if you're going to get really focused, you're going to want to get Rylai's Crystal Scepter. It gives you more health, gives you slows when you cast more spells, stuff like that. But the thing that's good with Absol Scepter is that it removes some mage resist from the other team, so that's really good for your other AP carries, which are going to do lots of damage to whoever's around that aura, right? And it gives you mage resist. So if there's heavy AP champions on the other team, you really have that extra mage resist that really helps you. But the give or take, sometimes if you're against a team with true damage, the only way you can counter true damage is to get more health, right? So Rattle's Crystal Scepter will do that. So where does Morgana stand? I think she's a little overpowered. You know why? Because her Black Shield AP ratio is 100%. So let's say late game you have 500 AP, which is completely reasonable. You're not fed, you're not underfed, you're just pretty much like everyone else. That means your shield's gonna freaking shield 300 plus 500. That's an 800 magical damage shield, which is very overpowered. Her Dark Binding of 3 seconds is also overpowered. It should be maybe 2 seconds, but then again they should lower the taunt from Rammus from 3 seconds to 2 seconds either, so I guess you can say she's kind of balanced. But apart from that, Morgana is a very fun player to play, champion to play. If you're gonna play her, make sure you can hit your Dark Binding, or else your teammates are gonna yell at you. This is OMGABanana. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Thank you. Have a nice day.